Hey, it's your girl Nikki here with Soothing Souls, and so definitely looking forward to today's conversation. Had a lot of people asking me about just life and spirituality for a number of years. Let me see if I can come out. Okay, I've had a number of people asking me just questions about spirituality and religion, and even asking about my journey and how I've been able to, just find peace and grow spiritually, as well as what does my healing journey look like as well. And so one thing that I talk to people about is, especially if you're a Christian believer, we always hear about this warring of the spirit and the flesh, right? And so over the years, as I've grown spiritually and read more of the Bible, learned more about a number of different religions, earning my Master of Divinity, which was an incredible experience, just learning about the different religions throughout the world. I actually don't subscribe anymore to my flesh and my spirit being at war with one another. It truly has been a journey of figuring out how to, one, grow spiritually, two, grow um, physically, mentally, and emotionally through a very intensive healing process that has taken years to go through and grow through, and is still happening. Even right now, because one thing you begin to learn as you are mastering yourself in life, it is that it is a lifelong journey. It is not something that happens overnight, and it is something that you have to be committed to. Not just talking about healing, not just doing healing, but being a space where healing can take place, being a space where reflection can take place, you within yourself being a space where accountability can take place, responsibility can happen. And all of those things, as you heal, you become more and more accountable for who you are and how you're showing up in the world. And when you begin to see a lot of the things that oftentimes are hidden from your view, that you can't see, or you just weren't aware of about your own self, it is an incredible power that you begin to unlock within yourself, that you begin to unlock within your flesh, that you begin to unlock within your being, right? And so, in that, your spirit and your physical person don't have to be at war with one another. But what I found is there's this beauty that as you heal and allow yourself to go through that process and journey of healing, and then when your healed self comes into alignment with your spiritual self, it's just some beautiful things that begin to be created. There's this beautiful and incredible experience you get to have here in life, living moment by moment, regardless of the chaos that is happening around you in the world. Sometimes, as it shows up even in your own home, when it shows up in your community, and the things that you have to deal with, there are still ways to find peace in the midst of all of those storms. And that peace is something that has to be found and created within. And it's not something that can be fake. Your own peace, you can't fake, because you know if you are at peace and if you are not, right? And so I have just been on this journey and invested thousands of dollars, thousands of hours over the last 7.5, almost 8 years into myself. And then it's also been close to 20 years of personal development and reading books, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Millionaire Next Door, leadership books, books on intuition and integrity, and also going to therapy for a number of years. So there's so much work I think that all of us as individuals definitely can stand to do as we begin to learn and uncover ourselves as well. Because think about it, for many of us, we may look up and see that we are living lives that, yeah, we created, but they weren't lives that we actually wanted. We were living in someone else's dream, creating someone else's dream for us. And many of us have incredible parents, who knew the world, know the world, and they knew what was best for us. Yet as we've gotten older and as we began to create our own lives, you begin to evolve and you begin to see and know what is best for you, your life, and for your future. And so after I went and checked off a lot of boxes in life, including getting a house, getting a career, getting my education, getting married, having a child, all those things that I thought I was supposed to do because it was the next thing to check off on the box, right? And being an adult and adulting. And then I thought I was going to live my life happily ever after. And that is just not how it panned out. And I will say that life on the other side, or the evolution of life since then, has been an incredible journey. It's been tough. It's been some of the hardest years of my life, and it has been some of the most beautiful and rewarding years of my life as well. And so, really looking forward to the things that are happening and things that are to come as well. So, I really just live my life moment by moment, try my best to take advantage of living in the now. There's some beautiful children running around. I will say that in that, it has just really been a beautiful journey of bringing my spiritual self and my natural self together in alignment, working together, as opposed to working as polar opposites from one another. And, one of the things that I say in that is, daily there's prayer, having a prayer life, communing, and that's it. I'm like, okay, animals all over the place around here. But, being in that space of being able to be at peace and communing with God, communing with myself, being with my thoughts, finding those spaces of me, developing those spaces of me that may have been unhealed and turning them into healthy places and spaces for myself first before even thinking about trying to share my life or share my space with another person. So there's something so beautiful around the inner peace and that self-love. And so as you begin to do therapy, as you begin to take on things like meditation and yoga and just different activities that help to bring you and yourself into alignment, those are things that will bring more fulfillment in life, more peace in life, more tranquility, more love, more joy, more patience to even just be with other people, who they are and how they are. And so you just have more of this space and this capacity to deal with life and everything that is happening around you, to say, regardless of what is happening in the environments around me, there's nothing that can steal my joy. There's nothing that can take my peace. There's nothing that can control my thoughts and or my emotions outside of me, because I am the master of myself. And so that has been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey to evolve into. And then when you connect that with connecting to that spiritual dimension of yourself, then now you get to pray, right? You get to meditate and begin to allow your thoughts to just kind of empty your mind of all the thoughts, empty your mind of everything that is happening in the world around you, and you're able to be there and just be still and know that God is God. Be still and to acknowledge God and to ask God to speak into you and allow God to have things within the universe to happen and to show you what direction it is that you're to go. Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you go up? Do you go down? To really have that divine wisdom that comes from only our God. And so in that, the more that we do the work to heal our physical selves, and then the more that we do the work to grow spiritually, it is much easier to hear instructions from God. It is much easier to take action on those instructions from God. A lot of times God will even place conversations and people in your space to have this conversation, to make this request, to ask that, and it can move your business along exponentially faster. It can help you get that job much easier. It can help you create and be creative and manifest and create things in your life much faster as well. And so I tell people a lot of times when we pray, we talk to God. When we pray, we talk to God. But when we meditate, we get to be quiet and we get to actually hear from God. So oftentimes, even as believers or wherever we are or whatever faith we may be a part of, it is so important to have those spaces and places in life where you can just listen to God, and where you can get instruction on, how to be and where to go and where to grow. Because God is always speaking to us. It's just there's always so many distractions in the world that we may not always hear what it is that God is trying to say to us, what direction God is saying for us to move. And so that has been a beautiful thing that has been created and has manifested itself, I know, in my life, is just being able to create and move things exponentially faster or expeditiously, very quickly, because I'm getting divine, I call them divine downloads. I'm getting divine insight. I'm receiving divine instruction on what path to take and when to take it. Usually it's now, or it's to hold back and wait. Prepare yourself because it's coming. So oftentimes I can feel an opportunity. I can feel something coming and it is about to manifest itself, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I begin to get instructions to do this, invest in that, move that way. And then when it shows up, I'm ready for that opportunity that has presented itself. So I tell anyone, oftentimes this is my motto, I say, look, yeah, we can talk about the flesh and the spirit being at war with one another, but then for those of us who are on the path of discovery of how to bring them into partnership, co-collaboration together, and to bring them in alignment with one another, where you can connect and tap into your divine self in that divine dimension and manifest and take action and bring things forth here in the natural world, that is a beautiful and very powerful thing to be able to do. And so I always encourage people to heal themselves and to understand and acknowledge that, look, we are natural beings having a supernatural experience, and at the same time, we are supernatural beings having a natural experience, and we're doing both at the exact same time. So when it comes to someone's spiritual growth, beliefs, religion, anything of that nature, you'll find that I tell people I identify as a Christian woman. I do believe in Jesus and all of those things, and I choose that. There's a lot that I've learned about choosing that path and that religion. There's a lot I've learned about the history of that, and so I also feel empowered that I choose Jesus, I choose Christianity, because that is the path that I take to the divine. And at the same time, I acknowledge that there are other people who occupy space and live in this world with me who choose other paths to the divine, and so I'm able to accept that. I'm able to acknowledge that. I'm able to respect that as well. And so I believe that when the rest of us are able to do that as well in life, we will have a lot more tranquility here in this world, a lot more peace. We have a lot more fulfilling relationships with the people who are in our lives. We have a lot more authentic relationships with the people who are in our lives, and we're able to learn and grow together and create that safe space and be vulnerable. So I also thank God, because there are also people that, as I begin to heal and come more in alignment with my divine and my natural self, there's just a beautiful community of folks as well. I call them my soul tribe, that I've been blessed to create and manifest over the years. And so sometimes there are also people that you'll meet in life where it's like, have I met you before? It's like a deja vu moment, or just your souls come in alignment, or there's just instant connection. And these relationships become easy, and it's like iron sharpening iron, and you get to create together, laugh together, cry together, celebrate together, and you get to call each other out and hold one another accountable together, and create that kind of environment and safe space for you, your family, and your friends. So I think it is very, very important for us to grow spiritually. It is very, very important for us to heal ourselves naturally through therapy, trauma therapy, whatever. If there are those of us who may need medicine, medications, or different herbs that help us to keep our mind and our body in balance and help us to maintain that equilibrium, then hey, go for it. Make sure that it's safe. I'm not a doctor or endorsing anything, and I know that for to each their own. And so this is just me sharing a little bit more of how I've grown and evolved over the years, spiritually and naturally and emotionally and in so many spaces. And this is something that works for my life. And so simply, I love sharing that, because people are always asking me to share that insight and that wisdom. And so hopefully it's been able to be a blessing to you today. So I will see you next time on Soothing Souls with some divine insight. Bye-bye.